Hey guys, Callence here. Today we are doing a brand new series on this channel called Callence Game Reviews, where essentially I take a video game and review it. Now I know there are lots of gaming review channels out there solely with the sole purpose to review games. Now this channel is not going to be surrounded by just every single day there's going to be a new game that I'm reviewing, because I don't want to pay lots of money for games I really don't care about. This channel is mainly going to be sticking to the normal content, but every now and then I really want to do this game review because I love games. Now let's get into the video. So as many of you guys know, I love video games. I'm a huge fan of not every single game obviously, but I'm a big fan of many video games. And you can see this on this channel. I've played a multitude of games, and today we're going to be reviewing one of them. Now, my favorite video game franchise has to be the Call of Duty series. Now, at the moment, there are, I don't know how many Call of Duty games there are, but there are many, a lot. There are a lot of Call of Duty games. And the first Call of Duty I'm going to pick to review is World at War. Now, as many of you guys know, World at War was the fifth Call of Duty in the Call of Duty series. It came out in 2008, right after the huge hit Call of Duty 4. And unfortunately for Call of Duty World at War, the sales weren't as high as Call of Duty 4. And that was mainly due to the fact that the multiplayer didn't have many camos. I believe it only had like wood and things like that. The weapons in the multiplayer weren't full auto. There were only a handful of full auto. Majority of the weapons were bolt action. And for the most part, the World War II theme, believe it or not, was kind of an overused theme at the time, being that the first three Call of Duties in the series were based off of World War II. So you can imagine having a fourth Call of Duty come out like almost a year after all of this World War II Call of Duty has been finished. You can imagine that the sales weren't going to be as high due to the fact that people wanted more modern and more futuristic things at the time, as far as I'm concerned. So unfortunately for Treyarch, this is one of the classic Treyarch games in my opinion. Unfortunately for them, World at War didn't do too hot. But in my opinion, it's a great game, and let's get into that. Now, the way I'm going to break down this series is by doing I'm going to do 3 parts. Not 3 parts as in videos, just 3 parts. There's 3 parts in the video. The first part is going to be talking about the secondary game mode. The second part will be talking about the multiplayer. And the final part will be reviewing the game as a whole. So let's go into the secondary game mode. Now, as many of you guys know, the secondary game mode wasn't implemented right away. It was a very secretive thing, and as many of you would know, if you were around in 2008, unfortunately, the internet, even though it was very popular, there wasn't really tutorials on the internet to find secret Easter eggs in video games. The only way you'd find it would be on YouTube. But even at the time, YouTube was a very small platform compared to what it is today. So if you wanted to find a tutorial on how to get the ray gun in the campaign, or a tutorial on how to unlock zombies, the game mode Zombies, which is what we're talking about right now, it would be hard, if not impossible, as capture cards weren't really readily available at the time. So the quality of the video you would see would be very low. Most people would use their cell phones because capture cards wasn't the thing at the time. So finding the secret game mode was a very, very difficult task. But once it was found, it became huge. Now, the first zombies map in this new game mode was Doctor and Toten. Now, Doctor and Toten was a very small map. It had 4 doors. It had the first door, which was the help door, the second door, which is a few barriers, and the third door, sorry, not 4, 3, sorry. The third door being the one leading from the staircase to the upper level. It was a very small map. It was based on a campaign mission, I believe, and it was very basic. You had a few wall weapons, you had a box, and the ray gun. Now, At the time, the ray gun was the most powerful weapon, and it was definitely good for camping. But unfortunately, if you hit yourself with the ray gun, you would immediately down. And seeing as there were no perks, it was very difficult to survive for high. It was very difficult to survive high rounds in the game, which made the map very difficult. But a lot of people got caught onto it and was very addicted to the zombies map. This was the start of Call of Duty Zombies, the ultra game mode in Call of Duty as of now. The game mode that two different companies are copying the original Treyarch Zombies. Now the second map that came out was DLC 1, and the second map was Varrock. Now a lot of people might get confused with Varrock's being DLC 2, but it was not DLC 2. It was it's part of the DLC 1 map pack. And seeing as how zombies became this huge game mode that people really, really enjoyed, the Treyarch decided to add another map into Varrock. Now Varrock was a very, very, very important map in Zombies history, as it introduced so much to the table. It was the first map to have an official song. The official song for the map was Lullaby for a Dead Man, sung by Elena Sigmund. It was a very catchy tune in my opinion, but it was a very small, close-cornered map. It introduced so much to the table, along with being the first Zombies map with an official song in it, Easter egg song. It also introduced the PPSH, which was one of the very few weapons that was in the multiplayer but wasn't in the Zombies game mode. It introduced movable boxes, introduced traps, and finally it introduced perks. And there were a few other things I know it introduced, but those are the main things it really introduced, and especially perks. Perks was a thing that would help you survive throughout the game. Now, you had Speed Call, which would allow you to reload twice as fast. You had Double Tap, which would allow you to shoot approximately 30% faster. You had Juggernog, which is the most important perk, which would allow you to take up to 6 hits before dying. And you finally had probably the least important perk, which was Quick Revive. Now, Quick Revive allowed you to revive players faster. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, Callence, what about Solo Quick Revive? Solo Quick Revive wasn't a thing back then, unfortunately. So, if you went down solo, that's it. You don't have a second chance. Now, the next Zombies map that was introduced was part of the DLC 2 map pack. It was called Shino Numa. Now, Shino Numa was a huge, huge Zombies map. It introduced the storyline, the main characters, dogs, the Wonderwolf, the Flogger, and many, many more interesting things. Now, this map was very, very... it wasn't the most popular map, but it definitely was a great map, in my opinion. It had so much new to put on the table. It even had movable perks, so perks were random. They spawn, not movable, sorry, but they spawn in random locations, so trying to find Juggernog would be a huge task. It was such a fun map, and a lot of people really enjoyed the map. It was a huge step forward. Finally, part of the DLC 3 map pack, and I say finally because there was no DLC 4. So to all you Black Ops 3 12-year-old sniper kids who are complaining that, oh my god, why didn't Black Ops 3 have a DLC 5? Why didn't it have DLC? David Vonderhaar, give us DLC 5. Be lucky you even had a DLC 4 because World at War didn't even have a DLC 4. So be lucky you even got a DLC 4 because they could have stripped that away as well. But anyways, being that the final map was Dervis. Now, Dervis introduced many things, but the biggest thing it introduced was Pack-a-Punch. Now let me explain the other things I'll introduce. It introduced the Monkey Bomb, introduced teleporters, and it introduced the Bowie Knife. Now, those are just to name a few, but the biggest thing was Pack-a-Punch. It allowed you to upgrade your weapons, making it better and much more powerful. Now, it was 5,000 points. It was a very cool system, and a lot of people loved it, and it's still in the game today. And now, Zombies as a whole is a really amazing game mode. I mean, it has to be an amazing game mode because three out of the 3 companies that produce Call of Duty, Sledgehammer, Treyarch, and Infinity Ward, all 3 of them now do Zombies. So it has to be a great game mode, and it really caught on with fans. It had a unique style that no other company could copy. So I'm very glad that Zombies was implemented. Now, the multiplayer, I don't know too much about, honestly. The multiplayer wasn't really a thing I played or even play now. I played, I think, one match in my entire lifetime in multiplayer. Now, the multiplayer is really cool. It really is it's really unique. But the thing that a lot of people don't like about it is the fact that like I said at the beginning, a lot of the weapons are World War II based. So you won't be finding AK-47. You won't be finding AK-74U, you won't be finding an M16, you won't be finding any of the weapons that was in Call of Duty 4 in this map, or this game, because in World War II there wasn't these weapons. The World War II weapons are very basic. You had submachines, and bolt action rifles, and of course the snipers. Now, the game mode, in my opinion, was really fun, as it really put you in the feeling. It really put you, like, it felt like you were really in World War II. And that's really all I have to say. Now, the game as a whole was very amazing. I love the World War II aspect because World War II is probably the most interesting war, as it involved so much. And honestly, it was a very fun game. I love the theme of it. And overall, it was a great game. But unfortunately, with great games comes a few bad things. There's never a perfect game. Now, some of the flaws in this game are glitches. World at War was glitchy AF. As fuck. Sorry. It was very fucking glitchy. I'm not gonna lie. There's so many glitches. And in Zombies particularly, because I'm a huge Zombies fan. I'm a huge Zombies fan. In Doris, if you were to use the Wonder Waff, before the patch, if you use the upgraded Wonder Waff, you would, if you shocked yourself with the upgraded Wonder Waff, you would lose your Juggernog. You would still have the symbol, but you wouldn't have the effect. But in a not so recent patch, even the non-upgraded Wonder Waff will have this effect on you. Meaning that if you zap yourself with the Wonder Waff at all in World of War, you will lose your Juggernog, and you will be, I believe, a one hit. So, when it comes to glitches, World of War is no stranger to that. But also, another thing I really have a problem with is the graphics. Now, graphics are a very vital part of Call of Duty, in my opinion, and in all games. But in World of War, for some reason, the graphics wasn't really that great. And, I mean, I've played games. I've played Black Ops 3, or I haven't played, but I've seen Black Ops 3 on last gen, and that's really bad. But World of War, it didn't really have the greatest graphics, especially if you compared it to other games like Call of Duty 4, even Modern Warfare 2, which came out only a year after World of War was released. And with that being said, I really do need to deduct points on that matter, because even though it's a fun game, graphics and glitches really, really ruined the game for me. So overall, I love the game. I think it's by far my favorite game in the Call of Duty franchise. It is the best. It's the most well-made. And I hope in the next few years, Treyarch really does go back to its roots and make a World War II or even a World War I themed game. It would be really cool to see what Treyarch can do, because I know that if they bring back the World War II theme, it'll be so much better than any other World War II themed game ever, because it's Treyarch. And I know the zombies would be rather amazing, because I love World War II, the history behind it. It's really cool. But other than that, that's all I got for today. Now, to rank it, because there's a really, really precise and very difficult ranking system. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would I rate the game? I would rate it a 8.99. I'm just kidding. Just an 8. Just an 8. Okay? Another reason for that is because, like I said before, the graphics and the glitches really ruined the game for me. But anyways, guys, hope you guys did enjoy. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments down below what you would rate the game. If you agree with me, great. Anyways, hope you guys do enjoy the video. Goodbye and farewell.